Anime Dimensions Boss Rush mode has 4 different characters that you are able to obtain and play as, each with their own unique abilities and attacks. However, if you are new to the game, the decision on which character to pick first can be daunting. So, I'm gonna help you out. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another video, and welcome back to Anime Dimensions. I'll admit, it's been a bit since I played Anime Dimensions, and you can thank Dungeon Quest for that. Updating and releasing a new Halloween event, SMH. Nonetheless, I noticed that players seem to have a bit of trouble picking and choosing which characters they should get first in the Boss Rush mode. So in this video, I will be showcasing all of the Boss Rush characters, and hopefully this video will help you out on picking your first Boss Rush character, since not all the characters in Boss Rush are made equal. As I stated just a few seconds prior, Boss Rush has 4 different characters that you can obtain and play as: Alice, Kokushibo, Gilgamesh, and Broly. All 4 of these characters are good and are used in different ways. However, certain characters are better for certain game types than others. So, to begin, let's start off with Alice. Alice Zuberg is a character that originated from the Alicization arc in Sword Art Online, and is one of the 4 characters that you can get as a drop from Boss Rush. She is a good AoE character that has 4 different AoE-based abilities. Her first ability is known as Horizontal. It has a 7-second base cooldown, and it propels her forward while damaging all enemies in the path that she dashes in. Her second ability is Light Arc. It also has a 7-second base cooldown, and is a splash AoE ability that damages all enemies in front of her when used. Her third ability is Luminous Rays. This ability has a 25-second base cooldown, and is a massive AoE tick damage ability that does 15 ticks of damage on all enemies that get hit by the ability, while also temporarily making her immune to all damage for a short period. And her ultimate is known as Eternal Garden, with this ability having a base cooldown of 75 seconds. When Alice's ultimate is activated, it spawns a massive circle around Alice, which does 15 ticks of damage in total to all enemies in that radius. It also has the side ability to heal your entire team 1% for every hit that Alice's ultimate does on an enemy. Those are all of her abilities. All of them damage enemies in a massive area of effect, and some even heal some of your HP. So, is Alice worthy of getting first? That really depends on if you need a good assist or not. Alice is a great main, but she's an even better assist. In fact, she's used as an assist by Time Challenge leaderboard players because of her assist. So, my advice would be, go for her first if you need a great assist, otherwise, get her later. So, Alice is a great character for Time Challenge, and is also a good main if you don't have anything else. But we're gonna move on to the second character that you can get from Boss Rush, Kokushibo. Oh, technically called Tobushiko in this game because copyright, but y'all already know who he is. Kokushibo is a character from the manga of the show Demon Slayer. In Anime Dimensions, he is a character that is very similar to Zenitsu, Rengoku, and Tanjiro, in that he wields a blade. Kokushibo, just like every character in the game, has 4 different abilities, all with unique attributes. His first ability is called Moon Gazing, and it has a 6-second base cooldown. When activated, Kokushibo slashes at the air 3 times, which can hit enemies from a distance away. His second ability is called Loathsome Moon. This ability has a 10-second cooldown, and when activated, creates a small whirlwind in the general direction where the ability was activated at. This ability does 12 ticks of damage with an initial sword slash, so in reality, it does about 13 ticks of damage per activation in total. His third ability, known as Lonely Moon, is an ability that has a 12-second base cooldown. On activation, Kokushibo swings his sword 6 times and dashes forward. When he dashes, he does another hit on the enemy in the direction that he is dashing to, so that ability does about 7 ticks of damage in total. And finally, his ultimate is known as Catastrophe, with a base cooldown of 45 seconds. This ability does 20 ticks of damage in a big circle radius around Kokushibo. Honestly, Kokushibo is the second best character in this game mode that you can get, and is the best character you can use for Dimension runs. And there is a very good reason as to why I say that. Well, before I tell you why, I gotta ask you this. Do you know what super dashing is? If you don't know what super dashing is, after this video ends, go check out my video where I explain how to super dash. The video will be linked in the end screen. But anyways, back to Kokushibo. If you do know how to super dash, however, Kokushibo's third ability, Lonely Moon, can be used to fly across the map at essentially Mach 3, which makes him an amazing character for dungeons. Personally, I would go for him second, because while running through dimensions is awesome, you will want a character that is good for side modes like Boss Raid or even Boss Rush. Which leads me to the third character on this list, Gilgamesh, the King of Heroes. This guy, yeah! Gilgamesh is a character from the Fate series, specifically from Fate Stay Night, at least this variant, and is also another character that is a drop from Boss Rush. His first ability, with a base cooldown of 5 seconds, is called Aimed Shot, and this ability shoots out a bunch of swords directly in front of him, doing 15 ticks of damage at a very fast rate. His second ability is known as Bombardment. This ability has a 6-second base cooldown, and when activated, causes swords to rain down in a big area right in front of Gilgamesh. This ability also does about 15 ticks of damage at a very fast rate. His third ability is known as Gate of Babylon. This ability has a 24-second base cooldown, and when activated, does a whopping 50 ticks of damage on any enemies in the area in front of him, while also making him immune to all damage for the duration the Gate of Babylon move is active. And his ultimate is known as Enema Eilish, and it has a 45-second base cooldown. This ability is a massive AoE attack that not only makes him invincible throughout the duration of him using it, but also does about 30 ticks of damage. While his third ability does more damage than his ultimate lasts about 1 second longer, meaning that when his ultimate is used, he can tank a little bit more damage than with his third ability. Looking at the base cooldown of all of Gilgamesh's attacks, one can see that he is a spam master. So combine that with some really good stats, and Gilgamesh can not only melt the mobs, but he can also melt a bunch of bosses as well. So, in my opinion at least, I would say go for Gilgamesh over all other characters. And I have a reason as to why I say that. Gilgamesh is one of the best, if not the best, characters in anime dimensions when it comes to characters that are good for mains. So if you need a great character for a main, Gilgamesh is your best option. Just don't be surprised if you get left in the dust by other players when you use Gilgamesh in dimension runs, since he literally has no extra dashes. But nonetheless, I would recommend you get Gilga first. And finally, for the last character that is available for obtaining in Boss Rush, we have Broly. Broly is a character and an antagonist from the Dragon Ball Z series, specifically from the Broly Triple Threat trilogy, and is the newest character that is available to obtain in the Boss Rush mode. Broly's first ability is called Eraser Cannon. This ability has a base cooldown of 5 seconds, and when it is activated, causes Broly to throw out a green ball of energy, which does 5 ticks of damage on impact. His second ability is called Planet Geyser, and when activated, is very similar to his first ability, but instead it has a bigger AoE, and also does 10 ticks of damage as opposed to 5. This ability has a base cooldown of 10 seconds. His third ability is called Gigantic Cannon, with this ability having a base cooldown of 19 seconds. What an oddly specific number, by the ways. This ability, when activated, causes Broly to stand still and shoot a massive green beam from out of his mouth, which does 15 ticks of damage. This ability also makes him immune to all damage for a short period of time. And his ultimate is called Omega Blaster, and it has a base cooldown of 50 seconds. When activated, Broly throws a bunch of the green orbs like the ones used in his first and second abilities, but instead he throws them into the air in front of him and then pulls them down, causing a massive explosion, which does 20 ticks of damage on impact and also makes him invincible to all damage for the duration of the ability. I'm gonna admit, Broly is a fun character to use, and I enjoy using him sometimes, but he isn't as good as the other 3 characters in Boss Rush. He may be good for Infinite as a backup in case you die on late waves, but other than that, you would be better off getting any of the other 3 characters first. Now, I'm not saying he isn't good at all. In fact, he's a mini Gilgamesh, essentially. I'm just saying that if you have the chance to get any of the others, get any of the others. But if you get Broly, you do have a very strong character to tide you over until you get any of the other 3 Boss Rush characters. So, I've covered all 4 Boss Rush characters that are available for obtaining as of the time of this video, and I've also covered my personal opinion on what I would recommend you get first. So, which character does one get first? Well, that's actually up to you. Do you need a character that is great for dimension runs? Get Kokushibo first. Do you need a character that is great for the boss raid / boss rush modes? Get Gilgamesh first, with Broly being a good alternative if you don't get Gilga. Do you need a character for farming the time challenge? Get Alice first. In a nutshell, get whatever character you need for whatever mode you are going to be playing the most. Nonetheless, if you enjoyed this video, then make sure to click on one of the videos that you see on screen right now. But without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end. Thanks for watching, and remember my salty crew, don't get salty, you.